All right. Hi. Thank you for watching. I'm Kate, and this is a little webinar about what coaching is. Have my partner Megan here with me, and we just want to share with you what coaching is and some like questions I had when before I started wanting to be a coach. So we hope this is helpful for you to watch. Have a few little slides here that I'll share with you and we'll get started. And then let's see. There we go. So here it is. Welcome to What is Coaching? This is a picture from the annual Coach Summit in St. Louis that I attended this year. That was super fun. And Megan and I are going to be going to San Antonio. Is it next June, Megan? Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Sure. All right. So we just want to share quickly who both we are and why we started to coach in the first place. So I am Kate Stalock. I am originally from Minnesota and now I live out in California. Married to a geologist. His name's John, and I have two little boys. Luca is 3.5 and Nash is almost 18 months. I was a first grade teacher for about 5-6 years, taught through COVID. And then when I had Nash, I decided to take a leave, and I was a CrossFit junkie before this. I had a gym that I loved, and COVID hit, my gym shut down. I got pregnant with Nash, and I knew I didn't want to go back to work. I just knew it in my heart. It was so hard for me to go back to work when I had my first baby. Even though it was an amazing daycare, and they were like the best that we could have imagined, it just killed me every day, dropping them off and going into work, even though I love my job. So when I was pregnant with Nash, I just knew that I had to find something else that had the income opportunity that I could eventually, make a little extra to support our family. So that's really why I started, was for that opportunity. And I had watched my coach do this for years and years and years. So I knew it was available. It just was never the right time for me before kids. And I have to say, that's why I joined, was for this opportunity to make some money. That's something that I knew I could do. But I have really stayed for different reasons. I couldn't imagine not having all the tools that I've had throughout adding a second baby to our family, because when you have two little kids at home, there's like no time in the day for you. You have to be like so good at building in you time, and having these workouts and the nutrition and all of the accountability, the things that it comes with, have really been the reasons that I've stayed and really loved what we have to offer and feel like I need to share it with others. So I really started rambling. We're going to get into a lot of that stuff in a minute. So let me pass it over to Megan and just let her share who she is and why she decided to coach.
Yes, I am Megan Tho. I am married to an engineer named Eric, and we've been married for about 7 years, 8 years. He's better at that date than I am, but we have two kids. One is 5 and one is almost 3, and going on way older than that, they think, as of tonight. But we are the reason I started doing this was more like Kate had talked about COVID. Mine was also with COVID. I just felt like I had such terrible anxiety, and I had started seeing a counselor for it, and just didn't have any me time, couldn't control emotions, couldn't control life, it seemed like. And an athlete all growing up, but didn't have any me time, didn't get that exercise in, didn't get any of that kind of dedication that I used to have in, and that really was taking a toll on me, but I didn't know it. And so I was, just scrolling through, probably Facebook. And then I got a message from Kate and that said, "Hey, Megan, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I watched your video. Oh, shoot." And but at the same time, I played soccer with Kate, so I knew that she was also an athlete. So, we went along with some conversations and eventually I pulled the trigger. But the biggest thing for me was just having that me time, like Kate was talking about. And mine wasn't necessarily the income, extra money's always a positive, but I still have a full-time job. I'm still working a full-time job. And, that's not something that at this point financially we can change. And so this was more of helping hold me accountable and really share my passion with other people. And the first 6 months of it was just dedicated to me and finding me again. And now we're just jumping through, and anxiety's gone. Counselor, we graduated from counseling, and yeah, things are just, I don't have the same anxiety. So,
It's been
all those
so
things are
cool
better.
to watch you go through all
So,
that, Megan, too.
well,
It's
thanks.
been really awesome to watch. So
It's been fun to actually live in and smile and have it be real, that kind of
yeah,
thing. So
that makes me so happy.
yeah.
Thank you for opening up and really sharing
Yeah.
the true reasons about
Yeah.
why you started.
Mhm.
So one of the questions we get all the time, and I know Megan and I have both had this, and we still talk about it all the time, is how do you find time to do this? Like, you're busy moms, your every minute of the day is consumed with kids or a full-time job. Like, how do you do this? So since I became a coach, I really, it forces you to like look at your day. And even some coaches, like every half an hour, like look at your day in every half an hour chunks and really like take a second look at how you're spending each minute of the day and really ask yourself, like, do I need to be doing this? You just really have to be more efficient with your time and prioritize differently. And that's really what I've done. And I dedicate times that I used to, sit on the couch and just scroll social media pointlessly or watch a Real Housewives episode, which I still do here and there, but definitely not as much. So it coaching just makes you prioritize differently, have different routines. I think that's a huge part of it. Routines with your fitness, routines with the business side of things. If you can establish different routines, and even if it's like 10 to 15 minutes every day, like 10 minutes in the morning of one part of the business and your workout, first thing in the morning or on your lunch break, you have another 15 minutes you can um, dedicate to the business. And then again, after the kids go to bed, you just have to get really smart about how you're spending your time. One super cool thing is that we are part of a bigger team. It's called Fit Forward United, and this is a team of coaches, and they have developed awesome trainings for new coaches, for coaches who have been here for a while, for whatever you could need, as well as Beachbody itself. They also provide you very similar training. So, and a bit, they teach you like how to do all of these things that I've been talking about. How do you prioritize differently? How do you make those routines? We also have meetings weekly or monthly with our closer teammates, and we brainstorm ideas and we talk about this all the time and give each other what's working for us or little tips or tricks that we figure out. So it is doable if you really feel passionate about changing your routine and making a change to what you're doing currently. So
yes, I agree. It's not always easy to fit in, those little pockets of time. And, some things do take a little bit longer than your 10 and 15-minute window. But it's like Kate said, like taking that time to just make it happen. You will make it happen if you're dedicated to it. And that's what we still work on every day. At least for me,
exactly.
it's still like, okay, I might not get that many pockets of time, but tomorrow, okay, I'm going to try to get 2 30-minute windows in instead of just one and then a couple shorter ones.
Yeah,
You just make it work for you, which also is a great thing with this business. You can make it what you want it to be. So, your life is a little bit tricky this week. You just don't have that time. Okay, that means next week I just have to push a little bit harder, or, it lets you put in what you want to get out.
exactly.
And
When you were talking about that, Megan, that was making me think of that what you're just saying. Like, for both of us, family always comes first and is number one. Like, we're always going to prioritize that before we do our coaching stuff. And that's, like you're saying, the beauty of having this as a business is you get to decide what you prioritize. Like, if your family needs you, maybe you just get in your workout, or maybe not even that day. It is up to you.
Yeah.
So that's a cool part, is that you are the boss, right? This was one of my huge hesitations before I joined as a coach, just because multi-level marketing businesses have such a bad rap, and because there have been some really slimy ones out there. So one of my questions before I started is like, what makes Beachbody different than any other MLM out there? So for me, and I know why a lot of other coaches continue to do this, is because what we offer truly helps people lead healthy lives. We use all of the products and the tools ourselves. We do the fitness programs. We have the supplements. We take an active part in the community that Beachbody provides. And I don't want to speak for you, Megan, but you cannot, if you agree, it literally has changed my life. And I couldn't imagine my life now without all of those things. And I would never offer something to someone that I didn't believe in 110%. So I think that's a huge one. Like, we're just not some like silky leggings or something, not to like give that a bad rap, or like, I keep seeing this girl who's promoting like some coffee drink that's going to make you lose 50 pounds. Like, our stuff is legit and it really does help people. I kind of touched on this one. One thing that is very different is our community. That's the piece of the Beachbody puzzle that like all the other fitness programs don't have, is that we have a community. We have a community of coaches. We get together on retreats. We have our annual summit that I was talking about, that you saw the picture of at the beginning. We have regular team calls. We have this super supportive network of mostly of other women who really I have not had any drama with throughout this whole time that I've been coaching, and who like want the best for you. So we have that big community aspect and feeling. And I touched on the last point here that we have just the top-notch products. Oh, we don't have to keep all of that inventory at our house. I know a lot of some other MLMs make you buy the inventory and then store it at your house. That is not the case with us. We just help people match up people with what kind of products they would need, and all of the logistical stuff goes on at Beachbody headquarters through their website. We don't have to deal with any of that middle stuff. We just help people get what they need, and then Beachbody will send them what they need and what they want. So, do you have anything to add to that, Megan?
No, I was just going to, as you went through, it is such a huge community, and it's something that I, for different reasons, have not been able to work out for like the last 4 days. And it was so fun coming in the last 2 days because, we're just this group, and to see the people that, you're not actually going to a gym. So that accountability of a gym feel, you don't necessarily have exactly that, but, we have within our group, we have a Zoom call in the mornings that can help hold you accountable and gives you kind of that gym feel that I was so excited to get back to, and to see the people that were there, and for them to be like, oh, it's so good that you're back. It's so good to see you. And,
or if you're not there, I have a partner that I work out with, and if she's ever not there, I'm like, hey, are you okay? I missed you this morning.
Exactly.
Like, people are going to notice if you're missing, just like you would have been if you were at a gym.
Yeah. It's definitely between the community, between the different products that they have to offer. It's definitely we find the value in our product
Mhm.
more than what other MMLs might.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Okay, another question that I very much researched before I started is what's even possible with this business? What's possible for me if I jump in? So it's a healthy outlet, both physically, if you stick to a program, both fitness and nutrition, you're gonna see awesome physical results, and mentally. Megan touched on that on why she started coaching, and it was the same exact thing for me. I was having sleepless nights, like so anxious about going back to work with after I had my second baby, and my anxiety was just through the roof. And this is exercising every day and having others to lean on. Sorry, my 3-year-old's throwing a fit outside the door. I don't know if you can hear or not, but having others to lean on has helped me mentally so much. You have the opportunity to help others and see others transform their lives. Like I was saying, watching Megan have that transformation from when she started coaching to now, and hers has been all on the inside as well. Has been like so fulfilling to me as a coach. Like even if you help that one person, it just, I can't tell you the inside effects it has on you to help that one person. It's life changing as well. There is potential to reach your financial goals. Some people's goals are just to pay for their product, to pay for their Shakeology every month or whatever product they're getting. Other people have been able to put in a notice at their full-time job or go down to for 3 days a week. Some other people in our coaching community have used this money from Beachbody to pay off their student loans, or it gives them enough money to pay for daycare. So really, there's just like a gamut of different possibilities of what this could do for you actually financially. But really, the sky is the limit, as I have written down there, because there is definitely a big opportunity to go places for you here, or to reach your goal, no matter how big or small that may be.
Yeah, I agree completely. It has been, even I haven't been doing this quite as long as Kate has, but it's been a huge thing for me to see how other people's lives have changed. And for me, like I had said, it would be nice if I could, quit my job and not have to do that and just spend time with my kids, but that's not in the cards right now. And so that wasn't my biggest goal in this. It was, me was kind of why I did this first, just to get myself back on track and for the accountability in that. But two was, I just loved seeing how I could impact other people. And, just the messages that we get that are like, hey, thank you for pushing so hard to get me to do this. Or, I just worked out with my daughter and she was blown away that I could actually keep up with her and in some things surpass her. Those kinds of messages that we get are more rewarding than the paycheck.
Yes, that is definitely what keeps you going.
So, yeah.
All right. Another thing I get all the time is like, oh, I'm not a social media person. Like, I don't have that much time to be on there. So it's not for me. And I was someone like that for sure before I started. I was kind of anti social media. Like I actually like weeded through my friends list. I'm like, I don't want to be friends with a bunch, like I don't know this person, so like why am I even friends with them? So I like did that a bunch of times on my social media pages just because I was like so kind of over it. But that is not the case. You will not be spending your whole day on social media whatsoever. I was just talking to my husband about this actually. And I was telling him that like when I'm on social media, I am on there with a purpose. Like I totally use it differently, and I am very aware of how much time I'm spending on each task. So you just have to learn how to work smarter and prioritize differently. You're not just scrolling to scroll. That is not at all what's happening when we're working on social media. We organize, we plan out our posts. We some coaches even like set timers for each task that they're doing as they're doing it. We call these, if you put them all together, we call it a power hour. And this is one of the trainings that both our team has and Beachbody has. They tell you exactly how to do all the tasks that we need to do to make our business a business. And it doesn't have to be done in an hour. You can, like I was saying, you can split a little bit in the mornings, maybe you have a break midday, finish up in the evening. The more you do it, the faster you'll get at things, the easier it will become. And it will become a routine too, and it'll just be how you use social media. So the answer is you do not have to be on social media all the time. And we can teach you how to be efficient.
And there are so many resources on there. Like Kate had said with, we're not just on social media just to scroll. We're actually like working on it. And, but we're also learning on it. So within our community, I can look and see what Kate had posted today and think like, okay, how can I incorporate that into something I post in a couple days? Or,
Yes.
Oh, that's a great idea there. Let me post this recipe on mine. Or, we're all a team. So we want to help each other, even if we aren't directly saying, hey, Kate, this is what I'm posting.
Right.
It's there for us to use.
We're constantly
and we're learning from it.
We're constantly inspired by each other. We have meetings often, and we brainstorm together there too. So
yes,
for sure, definitely. You don't have to be a big social media person to make this business happen. That's all I have. I was gonna leave this last one. Let me stop sharing here. Open for questions, but since it's just Megan and I here, I guess I can ask you, Megan, is there anything else that you feel like you need to share about coaching, or something you're excited about for coaching, or something that you had a question about coaching before it came up?
I'm trying to think what was probably some of the biggest things with coaching. I think one of the biggest things right away was I'm such a I put so much pressure on myself that this business, you might not hit all of your goals right away. Obviously the goal of a goal is to achieve it, but that might not always be the case, and that wasn't an okay thing for me. I wasn't good at that. So for me to in my eyes fail at meeting the goals that I had set for myself sucked. and so it's a learning thing also, like I had said, I focused on me, but yet I still expected to achieve all of these goals. Well, it's a process, process is still progress.
A lot of internal work, which actually makes me think of something that I didn't mention. We call these our vital behaviors, and these are the things that successful coaches do every day. And one of the vital behaviors of our business is personal development. And that's something I loved to do before I started coaching, but I didn't do regularly. And now every day I'm, reading a book that something about personal development that I'm interested in. Right now I'm reading a book called The Anatomy of Anxiety, and it's blowing my mind. Everyone should read it. But I think to go back to what Megan was saying, it encourages you to work on yourself and work through things that are hard for you, or maybe you haven't worked on before, change, like looking at goals and how we reach them a little bit differently. Megan, is something that you really had to work through. And it's something that I think you've really grown with and might have different perspective on now, which I probably wouldn't have happened. Maybe it would have happened.
Nope, probably not.
Coach. But yeah, it tests you and it makes you grow as a person, which I think is really important to do and prioritize in your life. So I think it's just really cool that really as a coach, you need to be taking really good care of yourself and growing as a person, and wanting to inspire others to do the same. That's something, sorry, I reminded myself of something else that I hear a lot too, like, oh, well, I haven't reached my own goals in my fitness, so like I can't be a coach yet. And that couldn't be more untrue. As long as you are willing to commit to a fitness goal and share with others so many people are going to relate to you, and maybe want to support you and join you and do it with you, on that journey and watch you go through that journey. You don't have to be at an endpoint and have all the muscles and, be where you want to be. You just have to, want to commit to that kind of a lifestyle and get there eventually.
Mhm.
That's something that I hear a lot as to why someone isn't ready to be a coach.
And I think it's also your vulnerability. You need to make sure that you're being vulnerable because people relate to that. I
Be
remember,
authentically you. Yes.
yes, I remember one of the first conversations I had with Kate on, doing a video of my workout. It was like, but my house isn't this, showcase house. I have laundry everywhere. I have this, that, and the other. And it was kind of one of those things like, okay, not everybody has a showcase house,
I would
that a
say
model
majority
house.
of people don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're going to relate to that. And so it's the same with your, with your progress along the way. People are actually probably going to relate to you so much more if you're not coming in with a whole bunch of muscle. If you're not coming in with, I have all of these boxes checked already, but you're still working on these things. This is the perfect business for you to get into because people are going to relate to you and you're just going to all achieve your goals all together.
Exactly.
So,
it's so much more fun to do with friends and a supportive community.
yes.
I'm so glad you brought that up, but that was a really important thing to go over. I love the personal development part. That might be my favorite.
Right. Yes.
All right, Megan. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank you for being here and adding in all those important points that you brought to this call. And I want to encourage you, if you're watching this little webinar with Megan and I, and if you have any questions about it, or if you want to continue this conversation, to please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to continue the chat. So that's it for tonight, and we hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.